What's up, everybody? Jason Swank here, and today I want to talk to you about what is the difference between a good agency and a great agency. What do they actually know that a lot of us don't? Like, why are they constantly doubling and tripling and quadrupling their profits and getting to a point where so many people are wanting to buy them, or where they have the freedom to pick and choose and do what they want in their agency so they're not that prisoner? What is the biggest difference? Well, in today's episode, I'm going to talk exactly about this and draw out a formula and get you on the right page so you know what to focus on. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about what is the difference between a good and a great agency. Well, the great agencies actually are looking into the future, right? And they're really kind of looking at the 3-year path. Okay, so let's go ahead and draw a timeline here for year 1, 2, and 3. Now, before we actually chat about what is the great agencies doing, let's think about what are the agencies that are really struggling. What are they actually doing? And when certain things happen in the marketplace, like for example, COVID happened, they were on this kind of fear-based line, right? This reactionary line. So let's talk about reactionary line. And this is really, if you think about it, it's fear-based, okay? And they're really kind of reacting to the market. So if the market goes down, they're going down. And, and that's not a line that you want to be on. The next line that I see a lot of agency owners on are on this roller coaster line, right? Constant up and down. They'll focus on sales, and then they'll get a ton of sales, and then they'll focus on delivery, and then they'll focus on delivery. Sales will go down, and there's constant ups and downs because they don't have balance. They don't have the right systems in order to have balance in their agency to constantly keep scaling their agency. Now, let's go ahead and look at what are the great agencies doing. Now, they're on a trajectory upwards. And what they're constantly thinking about is they're constantly in positioning mode, okay? And we call this the strategy line. They're constantly looking into the future, thinking about what is the strategies that we can do in order to really kind of position our agency in a way where we can take advantage of the marketplace, whether it be good or bad. So they're always constantly looking at, how can we get the best talent? How can we do possible acquisition? How can we get more market share, right? They're constantly looking at how can we get more and looking into the future. Now, if you really kind of look at the difference between these lines, it's really about leadership, right? And the great leaders at the strategy line, they're focused on who and where are we going, okay? They're looking into the future for the where, and they're constantly figuring out how do we actually accomplish this. People down here are constantly thinking about how, what, right? This is not a good strategy. You want to be up at the very top. And so you really have to get a focal point and really think about where are you actually going and get that clarity and then figure out who can actually accomplish this. Because as you start transitioning and as you start scaling, you can't do everything yourself. And so you have to realize, which line are you in? Now, when you actually start doing this, if you look at in the first year, there's not that big of a gap between the reactionary line, the roller coaster line, or even the strategy line. But as you get further out, the gap keeps getting bigger and bigger. So it's really important for you to self-identify now, which line are we on? Are we on the roller coaster line? Okay, well, great. What do we need to do? Who do we need to hire? Who do we need to be surrounded by in order to get on this strategy line and change our trajectory? Because if you're on the roller coaster line in 3 years, you're going to be back at the same place you're at. And you may have seen this over the past 3 years. I've seen this all the time. I remember Derek, before he jumped into the agency playbook, for a decade. He was at the same level. And then he started doing things different, and he got himself on the strategy line, and he took his agency from 7 figures to 8 figures. So that's a big difference. So you got to think about, which line are we on? How can we self-identify? What do we actually need to invest in, whether it be the agency playbook, or do we need to get into a community like the Digital Agency Elite Mastermind so we can be surrounded by amazing people? What do we actually need to do after you have that clarity? So that's what I wanted to talk to you about today. Which line are you on? What are you going to go do? And until next time, have a swank day.